all of these things have to be communicated and discussed before moving further into these next relationships. Because sometimes communication will show you that you thought you was compatible because y'all was having good sex and y'all was going on great dates. But when you start talking about what I really value in life and what you value, it may be two separate things. And then that's the clear indicator that y'all ain't really on the same page. And then the tough thing is we got to start learning how to let go. I feel a lot of people don't know how to let go of these relationships, bro. I see it all the time. They want to break up with a person, but still want to worry about who they dealing with, talking to, and then want to deal with them on their. I see so much all the time with people not really knowing how to let things go in a healthy way. Maybe. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tread the Great, and I'm with Just Daniel, and this is another episode of All Things Connected. We're so excited for y'all to be here. Like always, man, we're gonna dive in on some topics concerning family, faith, food, fitness, and a little bit of fashion. And so, yeah, what's going on with you, bro?
Not much, man. You know, this weather changing, so gotta kind of bundle up, man. I see you got the long sleeves and your joggos on.
Man, I got the long sleeveless. It's the thin jacket, so it ain't like too crazy right now. But it's been cool, man. It's been really cool down here. The weather's this week. The weather was like straight warm, and then it like drop at night. And so you need like a little light jacket or a hoodie, you'll be fine. It ain't too crazy quite yet, but like it was unusually warm in St. Louis in November. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
That's what's up. Yeah, this day if you ain't careful, you'll get sick weather.
Man, definitely. A lot of people been getting sick, man. So as long as you're taking care of your body, man, getting those vitamins. I don't think a weather change is the cause of sickness. I think, however, if your immune system is not built up, then that weather change affect you. But as long as you're getting your vitamins in, eating right, man, taking care of your immune system, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah. You know, we got all these, the black community got all these remedies, or not remedies, but got all these reasons why we get sick and stuff like that. And so, but as long as we're taking care of our bodies, we'll be all right.
Most definitely.
How'd your week go, man?
It's been good, man. I've been spending a lot of time connecting with men.
Okay.
You know, as men, we kind of go through our ups and downs.
Yeah.
And for the most part, you don't reach out to anybody. You feel like you got to tough it out by yourself.
Sure.
You know, and I really started evaluating just my life in general when I had my little up and down moment. And I realized I need to connect with more men because I need to be intentional about connecting with men because we won't do it. We won't pick up the phone. We won't message. We won't email. We won't send a bird, whatever the case may be. We will try to tough it out and go through it by ourselves, and it makes it so much bigger. So I'm very proud to say that I've been connecting with men and helping with the smallest to the largest of things, or that may seem large. And it's a good feeling, and I feel that's where I want to be.
So true, man. Yeah, that's so important, man. Iron sharpen iron. Men need to be together, man. It's something about when men are together and just having those positive, conversations. It's just different. You know what I mean? Hearing it from a different man, hearing it from a different perspective, and getting outside of your own head is very important. So definitely a good thing.
Yeah. And knowing that you have support as well.
Yeah, so true. Yeah.
That's big because when you feel like you have to tackle these major issues in life, or even smaller issues in life,
sure,
it makes it a daunting task and it makes it seem like it's impossible. But once you have someone else to say, hey, we can do this together, or I know somebody, I can connect you with this person.
Yeah.
Or you may be the remedy. So
Yeah.
So yeah.
And not even
That's
just
been my
always
week,
like
bro.
not even just like on like heavy stuff, but just like having people that know certain things that you don't know. Like I
Yeah.
really talked about the younger guys that helped you with the YouTubers, giving you some advice and stuff like that. Even just something as simple as that. Like we don't know it all,
Yeah.
so having that tribe or having other men that may be more knowledgeable than you in other areas that can help you out. And so I think that's the purpose of like relationship and team building. And so yeah.
On that. What
Yeah.
about you, bro? How your week been?
Week was cool, man. Just locking in. DJ focusing in like on his grades. He got some reports on his grades that I didn't like, and so we got to just bring up. So we've been like really heavy locking into that, and then his weekly grades. He got 4 A's and 1 B for his weekly grades.
Nice.
So just a little bit of focus and attention to detail to that, and it's been sweet, man. Other than that, just working, man, grinding, staying focused, and getting ready to end this year and get prepared for these holidays coming up. Thanksgiving is like a week and a half away, 2 weeks away, and so yeah, dealing with that.
You know, I sent you that. You know, I sent you that little short with Prince.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me.
Right. Exactly.
That's me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, so week been good, man. I know this format is different. You know, normally on the podcast we together and
dapping each other up and
Yeah.
I see.
It's a little different, you know, looking at talking to a lens versus like having you right here face to face in a room. But we had to figure something out because we couldn't just I can keep flying to Houston, you can keep flying to St. Louis. So it's dope that technology is available and all these different ways that you can do things. And so I'm still looking down at the phone. I'm trying to look at the camera. I'm trying to look at you. Like, so like I got to get used to like looking at the lens and talking to the lens. Like, cause the lens give no facial expression. The lens is just stoic. And it's just like, man, it can be intimidating, but yeah, I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. So the remedy, D, this is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I just put the phone behind the camera. So now I'm not talking to the camera. I'm talking to you.
Yeah. For some reason, mine is like that, but it still feel like since the phone is not on the same axis level, so it just feel like I'm looking down a little bit. But it might not even look like that on camera when like we go back to editing it and send it through. Yeah. So we'll see. But it's all new,
for sure.
Man. But we gotta do what we gotta do, man. We gotta make this thing work. So
yeah.
Nisha
and her rattling around dishes and What you about to cook? What you about to cook? Some dumplings. All the ones we just got. Yeah. So I just sent you a reel from Instagram. I just saw it, and I want us to take a look.
Okay.
I think it's noteworthy. Not even noteworthy, just something to talk about for real. You know, I started looking through the comments and I said, let's cover this. So let's take a look at this real quick.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah! That's what I like you there. Oh my God. Yeah!
You going through the comments?
No, I ain't looking at the
I like
comments.
you there.
I just watched the video. What you think, bro?
I kind of went through the comments because I think in today's environment, it's easy to just comment on stuff without context. You know, so from what we just saw, you saw a young man get down on his knee, propose to a young lady, and at first she seemed excited. A lot of women were around and they were gassed up. Oh, yeah.
Cameras out. Yeah.
But then when he opened the box, you said no. And so he got up. And that's the only context we have. And so for me, I just went to the comments and said, man, what are people saying? You know, and so somebody said, good girl, do not allow a man to pressure you into marriage publicly. She is clearly aware he may still have some growing to do. Do not ever marry. It doesn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
The next comment is tell her thank you and send her back to the streets, homeboy.
Mhm.
She know why she said no, leave her alone. Which I actually like that.
Mhm.
And then you got, various comments. Moment sucks, but she did you a huge favor. And so you have, at least she was honest. I respect that. I like that one a lot too.
Yeah.
You don't know whether it was the ring size. You don't know whether she just felt like it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and that's all. That's all that really matters. Is her no. Her no is for a reason. It's none of our business. I know it hits the internet, and people have the internet is a beast, right? When you put something on a public platform, people can comment on it. So all of leave her alone. It's public now, and so we get to comment on it. That's what it is. If y'all had that and nobody saw it, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now. So people gonna always have opinions, but the only thing matter is her no. Now her reasoning, why she said no, all that can be explored, all that can be assumed. However, don't nobody really know why she said no at the time. And so my question to you is the relationship salvageable or repairable after someone turns down your engagement?
My opinion, yes. I think it's very salvageable. I think it's a shot to the ego because you just did it publicly, and
man, ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back from that. It's over with. Bro, it's over with.
It's over because she said no.
I'm done.
Without exploring why she said no, the reasons why.
Man, I don't care why you said no. We can.
Y'all want to where you get right here, right now. It's a wrap.
It's over with. We can still talk about it, but the relationship done.
What?
It's over with for me, bro.
I cannot believe you said that, D.
Well, you better believe it.
That's crazy to me, bro.
D.
Okay, well now I gotta ask you why then.
Because why? I offered you the highest honor that a man can possibly offer a woman, and you turned it down. So what's the point of even being in a relationship? It's time to move on. You don't want that, obviously, for whatever reasons, and you have your reason.
Yeah.
And this is what I want. I want to be a husband. Obviously, I want children. Obviously, I want to start a legacy. So if you're not prepared or ready for that, yes, you can. You have that say so in the right end, and I'm glad she made that decision. However, I want something in this relationship as well, and I think we be getting confused at times. So because I want to be a husband, because I want to be married, then if you don't want that, that's okay. We can mutually go our separate ways.
Now, what if she said, I want that, but I don't want that at this exact moment?
I think that should have been discussed and talked about before I got on my knee and proposed.
Well, if that's discussed and talked about before you got on your knees to propose, you would never got on your knees and proposed.
Yeah, but sometimes when we have conversations, we'll get married. Yeah, we're going to get married. And so we don't say, if I ask you right now, would you say yes or no? We have those conversations yeah, we're going to get married. We talk about what the wedding looks like. We talk about what all these things look like. So, and it can be a breach of communication there because we've been talking about marriage. So I'm thinking just because we're talking about it, this is something that you're willing to do. Now, if you're right, if we did have a conversation about me actually proposing, which I don't think most people do because it kind of takes away the shock value and it's supposed to be like a surprise and a special moment.
Yeah.
However, if they did have that conversation, then of course he wouldn't be on his knee. But we've been talking about marriage and engagement before I did this. I know, he ain't just hit it with the 1-2 like that. And so that,
and he might have.
So from that perspective,
that's what I think, D.
Yeah, from that perspective, then that is a little different.
Yeah,
but if she said, I want this with you, but not right now, then that's where you can reconcile, and that's when things can be fixed. It can be restored because now you're giving me reason, and you're not leaving me out to think that I'm just tripping or I'm the only one that want this. You saying yes, I do, but not right now. But she didn't do that on the video.
But you don't know what she did on the video. She could have whispered in his ear. That's why I said we don't have the complete context. And the reason, another thing I want to ask you, does it sting more because it's public? Is that a part of like, yo, you really embarrassed me? Because that's embarrassing. If you get down on one knee, and then a woman says, "Nah, buddy."
Yeah.
Does that factor into you saying, "Man, I'm cutting this off"?
I think, like you said, it's a shot to the ego. Like, number one, men, we go through a lot to even prepare that whole like situation. Like the entire situation is thoughtful, so it's not just that moment. It'd be like months and years of preparation for this stuff. So when the person say no, it's almost like my feelings is crushed because I'm preparing a place. And so, yeah, it hurts more, but I think even if you said no in a private setting, it's still gonna be like that's
gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but like in the public, that's the embarrassment. You know, those are two different things, right? So I don't think it changes anything, bro. I think the hurt is the hurt. Yeah. I think you're more embarrassed, but the hurt is, you know, that's the feeling that you're going to feel because you're getting rejected. Like, I really feel it. So you feel like it can be repairable. Why?
It has to be because for whatever reason you felt that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with this woman, that shouldn't be thrown away off of a no in this moment in time. If you did, you weren't being realistic about how you feel about this woman. It still has to have so much value because the only thing that you're going to do now is go try to find another woman, and you're going to have to go through that same process.
Yeah,
getting to know this person, falling in love. Yeah. Then that's the reason why I said I wouldn't just throw it away. Now I am very intentional about where are we going with this relationship. Because 9 times out of 10, when a woman wants to get married, she will let you know. I think this is a situation where he wanted to get married and she necessarily didn't want to get married. It wasn't on her radar.
Yeah.
And that happens from time to time. It actually happened with me and my wife. Like, I've been wanting to get married since I was 5 years old. My wife, not so much. I proposed. I felt like we were in a cool place, good place to get married. And she said yes. Thank God she said yes. But we ain't had no conversations about us getting married type stuff.
Really?
And I think, I
never knew that.
Yeah, and that's why I can kind of relate to this because it happens. Yeah, you talk about I love you and this euphoric stage, like they some young adults.
Yeah, we don't know how long they've been together though.
Obviously not long enough for her to say yes.
Well, time ain't gonna fix that. You know,
that's true.
If we was to assume and to go with what you're saying, like they young, they probably ain't been together a long time. But man, I just know when you talking to somebody and the man get to that place, like he gotta men don't, number one, we ain't just trying to do that. So when we do that, I think there is an idea that this person will say yes, or there is I gotta feel comfortable enough to do that. Like he ain't just doing that to somebody. Yeah, it's that.
I understand, and I did it with my wife,
and that's why
she could have said no, real easy.
And then,
but I wouldn't have tried to throw it away. I wouldn't have been like, huh?
You wouldn't have broke up? Is it?
No, I wouldn't have broke up. I would have said, where are we going? What's the intent? Because my intent, whatever I date, is to get married.
Yeah.
I'm not dating just to have fun and do all this. Mm-hmm. Just because of our background. We grew up in the church, mom and dad were married. Everybody in our environment, they were married. Like all the families that we hung out with, they were married. For sure. And so that was impressed upon me at a very young age.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be married. I didn't date a lot of females because I knew I wouldn't make you my wife.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I just read was don't fall in love with her looks because her looks can't raise your children. Her looks doesn't support the family. Mm-hmm. And so I agree with that. I always knew you're pretty, but you have certain things about you that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know. And so I'm very intentional about I like you. I'm looking at this, I'm evaluating that. Oh, I think this could be us, but I never communicated with my wife about that at the time. Like we had little small conversations. You know, you're not just doing it completely blind, but 9 times out of 10, the way people date is not, if I say this, or you go get the pre-yes type stuff, you know? Like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of them situations where he head over heels for her. She seemingly head over heels for him. And he jumped the gun. And she said no. Or they got some issues that they need to resolve and she said no.
Man, that's so unfortunate, bro.
Yeah.
I think my ego probably a little too big to like come back from that.
That's what I was saying. I think the ego will say, I'm crushed. Now defend yourself. And how I defend myself is I cut people off.
Yeah. Well, my perspective is not from defend myself. My perspective is, okay, this is something that she obviously don't want. And like you said, I'm in a relationship to go further. And if she don't go further, like, yeah, to your perspective, like if y'all had a conversation, she like, not right now. But anything outside of that, it's over with. Like really.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Anything outside of that is like, nah, you ain't making enough money right now. Nah, you ain't. Like, because the comments, I think the caption had something about like money or finances or something like that. Whatever else it is, I'm cool. Because obviously I love you with a greater capacity than you love me. Obviously I'm loving you outside of conditions. You loving me conditionally. Now, if you just don't want to do it right now, then cool. We got to explore what that right now looks like, what that timeline look like. Because again, even if you say you don't want to do it right now, when you ready, I ain't want to waste no time. I'm ready now.
Right.
So that's where the compromise in a relationship comes in as well. Like it ain't just all about her. This guy has his feelings. This guy has his thoughts, his ideas, and his emotions on where he feel like the relationship should be going as well. And that's why I say, bro, it's gonna be a hard time trying to get through that. If like you said, she give a great reason on to like not in this time, not in this moment. But then we start talking like that. Okay, when is the right time? I know a lot of fellas on here gonna be like, okay, when is the right time? Like, because we talking about a marriage, we talk about a life journey. Like, so where is this? I ain't like, come on now, you gotta really make sense of all of that. And in my mind, that would plague my mind, be like, okay, she said right now ain't the time. Okay, when is the time? Why right now? And I ain't saying we about to get married right now. I'm just proposing to you.
Right.
So, man, look, it's over with for me, man. I done told you.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it no more. So what advice would you give to the young brother, man?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because you went through, like, if the version of the story is kind of like how you and your wife's story is, like, what advice would you give to him? I know your wife said yes, but what would you tell the young boy if that is the case?
I would say, oh man, first you got to get over the hurt. Truly get over the hurt if you want to move forward with the young lady. That's going to be very hard to do, but you definitely won't be able to move forward if everything is vindictive, if everything is out of spite because you said no.
Yeah.
So first you got to get to a safe space to where you can love on this woman the way that you need to love on this woman. But then you also need to evaluate and not press upon her, because the last thing that you want to do if you stay in this relationship is press marriage upon her. So now you really have to deal with what you have ideally in your head versus what's the reality. And I'm huge on that. You may not be the one. I may have thought you were the one. But if this is not right for you, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how much time is going to pass before you realize what you want or what you don't want. I do agree with you in that. I'll have to make up in my mind, how long am I going to spend time doing this? I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what time frame that is. But he has to do that if he stays in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because you love her. Like, he wanted to spend that doesn't change overnight. So even if even if you separate from this woman, you still gonna long for her. You literally just said, I want to propose to you, which means I want to marry you, which means I want to spend the rest of my life.
And it's a thin line between that, brother. It's a thin line, because once a person feel like, yeah, I'm a hurt, but like it's over with. So my advice would be to the young brother: run, man, and go express that love with somebody else, man. There's somebody else that's gonna be there to love you, to be honored to be your wife, to love you wherever you are, whether the time don't make sense or not, man. I don't believe in love and this time stuff, man. Our mom and dad got married after 2 months, and they've been married for 39 years. So if obviously she's not ready, and that's okay. She has that right to be. I'm glad she said no. I would rather her say no than y'all get married and then divorce.
I agree with that.
So my thing is, man, close that box, put it in the cut, because there's a million women out here looking for a good man to marry them, bro. And so and
then he also has to grow. I agree with that advice if that's going to be your approach.
Yeah.
I think he also has to grow in his approach. You gotta start being
very true.
You gotta be intentional about what you want. We gotta have. You said something, and I think it's becoming more accepted. We gotta start having real conversations before we even get to that point. Right?
I agree.
We need to stop discovering these monsters in the closet after we get married.
Yeah, and because we're so concerned about making that day special that you're voiding the real truth about where your lady might be or where your man might be. And that's come through conversation. So yeah, you might be preparing this proposal for 6 months to a year, but you ain't even talked to her intimate in that way. So like it's like we focus on the wrong. We focus on the wedding day, the wedding dress, the honeymoon. We focus on all those things, and the relationship don't even be solid. And so,
yes,
you definitely right. Like, he got to work on his maturity, his approach, and his communication skills. Because if you do that, then you won't even be in that space.
And that's what you really have to be in tune, because this is what he did. He called her best friend. He called her mom.
All them women that was yelling and screaming. Ah!
Yeah.
Everybody heard it in the background. That's exactly what he did.
And of course they're like, oh yeah, y'all make a good couple and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But he never was in tune with what she wanted. Because if he would have been in tune with her, those calls don't happen.
But also that goes to make, and I know this is probably messed up, but that make my mind wonder. If he called all them people, she knew what was going on. Women don't know how to hold stuff like that. They going back and telling them, hey, yeah, Marcus thinking about proposing to you, girl. He going to the mall getting your rings. She knew.
I don't think so.
She had to, man. Women ain't gonna, at all them women. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
somebody gonna give her a hand.
Somebody can't hold water.
And so in that moment, sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah, man. But I've talked to a few women, and they said yes because they didn't want to embarrass him publicly. And then they took him back and say, hey, this is something we got to revisit, something we got to talk about. Is that something?
That would have been cool.
Yeah. Is that something that you was...
I would... My fault. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. You know what I'm about to
That's
ask.
what I would want. Yeah, I would want that. Like, don't embarrass me publicly, because I think that would protect me.
Because I'm dealing with two evils, like you said. Even with the, like, just tell me, I'm dealing with trust and I'm dealing with you lying to me, right? Like, so I'm dealing with you cheating on me, and I'm dealing with you lying to me. That's why it's so, like, if you can be transparent, it helps the lesser too. So I'm dealing with her, number one, that you don't want to marry me. And then two, I'm dealing with the embarrassment of all my family, people out that flew in and friends. And so, protect my heart, go out my heart in that, man. I'm like, yeah. And then we would get in our safe space, then we can have those conversations. And maybe that's what, she just said no.
Yeah, she could have protected him. I would have said, protect him. If you care about that man, ladies, if a man proposes to you publicly and you're not ready, at least protect him. At least give him the yes in front of people, and then, hey, I just wanted to protect your heart. I didn't want to embarrass you, but I don't think we're ready.
Man, we're going to have a lot of women in the comments like, nah, don't spur that You don't want to be with him, don't lie to him.
Yeah. Nah, you have. I think if you care about this person, obviously you with them.
Yeah.
Or you never know why she's with them. Now we can start peeling back some other stuff, but that goes into being in tune with the relationship and who you're with.
Ooh, I got a question.
Asking those tough questions.
Yeah, I got another question.
Being engaged.
I've known you've been seeing like these viral videos of a woman proposing. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, I would never. I think that's the same advice, men. Let them down easy. Because I didn't saw a dude say, nah, baby. But I've also saw a man say no and then get down on his knee and propose. It's a different environment nowadays, man. Women are they're taking on the role of men. And now you see that more and more. But, man, I couldn't live with myself if my wife proposed to me, bro.
It's a hard
That's
no.
just me.
It's a hard no for me, bro. The video that I saw, the dude kind of smoothly just grabbed her and picked her up and just embraced her. Like,
yeah.
And I like, he didn't say yes or no. He just picked her up like and embraced her and he said something to her. And who knows what he said to her, but like I think we need to start talking. I really do think in these relationships.
I want you to give your approach, D, because I think that can help a lot of people in this dating. People who are, number one, let me say this. Please start dating with intention if your intent is to get married.
Sure.
Young fellas, if you the good guy, if you the geek seemingly or the square or the lame who people perceive to be that,
yeah,
stop going for these bad girls. They are not looking for what you're looking for. Yeah. They're looking for fun time, happy times. I'm a fun girl. I'm a party girl.
Trips,
you think
being
you gonna
flown out,
bags.
Yeah, they looking for courtside seats.
You gonna break your heart.
Yeah.
Stop it. Be very intentional about what you want. Get the good girl. There's some good girls out here, but y'all keep chasing these bad girls, thinking you're gonna turn her into the good girl, and she's not going to do it. Yeah. She got to get her heart broken. She got to go through some stuff. She got to live life. Meanwhile, you whining and downing and putting all this effort, and you being used, and it's gonna take some heartache for you to wake up. And the same thing for these girls. Good girls. Stop going for these bad boys. Stop thinking you about to take this man from all his environment, the streets, this club, this nightlife, and turn him into a church boy. It don't work like that. He gonna do what he do. Or you gotta have enough patience, love, understanding, and whatever else goes into it until he turns that corner. But that's a rough patch of life. Me being honest, bro.
So true. So true. I mean, I think my approach is like, we gotta start talking, man. Like you have to not just go through relationships assuming things. Y'all together. Why not have the conversations? Where is this relationship going? Are we dating, exclusively dating, boyfriend and girlfriend, man and woman? Are we ready for the engagement process? Even after the engagement process, because the engagement process is really a process to the final process to, okay, is this something that I'm truly ready for to spend my life with you? And as we engage deeper, that I get to see things deeper. We get to unhash things deeper. We get to pull more layers back that we probably didn't address and talk about in our previous phase. So that engagement process is a very, very vulnerable place to be in, because it's not like, okay, everything, I probably ain't even told you all my dark secrets, but now I if I love you, respect you, I gotta tell you these dark secrets before I go out and marry you, because when we get married, they coming out. And so you got to be intentional about all of those different processes and phases within a relationship, or you're going to find yourself getting on the knee, getting told no to. And I think there's a way to avoid that. Or you got women getting down on their knee and a man like, I would never accept a proposal like that. All of that can be alleviated and avoided if we just communicate and talk. And I think that's what our podcast is all about, like healthy communication, healthy habits, healthy lifestyle. And it starts with just talking to one another. And so we can really prevent and avoid a lot of these things if we just simply talk to one another.
Most def, and then start doing the work.
And you got to do the work.
I think that's key. Like engagement goes from proposal, now we're engaged. Now the only thing that we're planning is the wedding.
Sure.
Right? And so, we need to start planning how we interact with our finances? Are you good with your finances? Are you bad with your finances?
Yeah.
Who's going to take the lead on the finances? What roles are you better at? What roles am I better at?
Yeah.
How are we going to work together as a team?
Yeah. Do we want children? And if we do want children, how are we going to raise our children? Because most people come from different backgrounds. So I might be okay with public school. You probably come from private school and you want your kid to go to private school. If we don't discuss that, it becomes an argument in our relationship. How we want our kids to eat. I grew up on junk. I grew up on healthy eating. All of these things have to be communicated and discussed before moving further into these next relationships. Because sometimes communication will show you that you thought you was compatible because y'all was having good sex and y'all was going on great dates. But when you start talking about what I really value in life and what you value, it may be two separate things. And then that's a clear indicator that y'all ain't really on the same page. And then the tough thing is we got to start learning how to let go. I feel a lot of people don't know how to let go of these relationships, bro. I see it all the time. They want to break up with a person, but still want to worry about who they dealing with, talking to, and then want to deal with them on they. I see so much all the time with people not really knowing how to let things go in a healthy way. And maybe that's a whole episode in itself, bro. Like learning to let go. Learning to let go.
And also paying attention to red flags.
Yeah.
Like, the person looks good or they may talk good. You always have these things that you're infatuated with a person about. But it's also some red flags that you can ignore. Mm-hmm. And so I agree with that 1,000%. Like, you got to, because time will tell you to stay with this person.
Yep.
I've been with this person for X amount of years. This didn't happen, that didn't happen. Y'all ain't even got married.
Mm-hmm.
You still holding on to this person. You want to marry this person.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing you who they are.
Yeah.
Now, sure, you can impress, like, I want to get married, I want to get married. And they may say, yeah, I'll get married. But you don't get the same person.
Yeah.
And then, because they're not changing, like marriage in and of itself doesn't change an individual.
Exactly.
Right? You have to, again, you got to put in the work and you have to really communicate and work towards whatever value set, assuming that it's aligned. I think a lot of our relationships end because we didn't have the same value set to begin with.
It's very
if we would have came in and started talking about what we truly value at the core of
and how
us,
we want to live our lives, all of that matters, bro. What communities we want to live in, what type of cars we want to drive, what type of goals we're chasing. Like, we don't really be discussing a lot of things, and that's why I'm telling you, talking and communication will help out a lot of those, things, and it will end relationships before they go too far. Like, if you know how to let go.
Right. Like, I had when I was in the Air Force, I had one troop. She said, I don't want kids. She knew she didn't want kids at that point in time.
Sure.
And so when she said that, I said, oh, okay. That conversation needs to be had with whoever she's with, because a guy like me, I thought I wanted a whole bunch of kids, just me being honest.
Yeah.
But then when I got married, I was like, man, these kids cost some money. Like, these kids are expensive. How we live life.
We always want stuff, but sometimes it's what we need. It's sometimes
real talk.
We don't need all these damn kids. Life is a lot different now from back in just the 90s and in the 2000s.
For sure.
Nah,
for sure.
But was that a deal breaker when she said she didn't want kids for you? And did you let that relationship go?
No, we were just talking. She was just a troop that I talked to or whatnot. So
did you continue to talk to her?
Yeah, she was cool.
Oh, okay.
I didn't talk to her like that.
I got you. Yeah, it was. But I think stuff like that is like, when we discuss that, when this person say, this is a non-negotiable for me, and what she's saying is a non-negotiable is exactly what you want, that's when I'm talking about letting it go. But what we would do is we'll keep talking, keep jamming, keep it, and you got to learn to cut relationships off before it's too late.
Yeah. What do you think about dating multiple people at one time? Because
I'm with it.
Okay.
Go ahead, but give me more context, because it's dating is
because I think because I always try to date one person at a time, but I think that may be a better approach, and it obviously is dependent on the individual. But dating, just going on dates, seeing, feeling people out. I think that allows you to cast a wide net and for you to ultimately, see what's what.
Yeah. And the reality is most people are already dating multiple people before they meet their person. They already got somebody that they talking to, a couple guys that they dealing with, a couple ladies. Like, that's the reality. Like, I don't think no one is just walking around with absolutely nobody to talk to. I just don't believe that ever. Like, we adults.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I like the idea, and I like multiple dating, because then I wanna weed out the person that's gonna rise to the top. I really do. And so I like having 3 or 4 people that's in my circle and that I'm dealing with, that I'm talking to, because this person may show you this person may show you that. And then as things get serious, like with me and my lady, like we started dating, and she was just like, I don't need to talk to nobody else. I'm locked in with you. I didn't commit to that same thing. I was just like, well, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to somebody else, and we'll see. But it wasn't really nothing as serious as her. So when she came around, my attention immediately went to her, because everybody else that I had on the side was just little side situations anyway. So when I locked in my attention to her, we were very clear on the communication on, okay, now that we've been talking, let's see what exclusively dating looks like. And so now when all of these side situations call you, you got to let them know, like, hey, I'm talking to somebody, it's getting serious. I would appreciate it if you don't reach out, or, I'm like, respect what I got going on. And then we did that. We did that for a while, and for about a month. And then that's when we became like officials. Like, this is my lady, this is my man. And we're really real about it. You got to have those phases, bro. You got to, man, because if you don't do that, I think it's always easy to be unfaithful. It's always easy to if you ain't really.
Ooh, you diving into some other stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's always easy to really step out, because you never really got rid of those lingering things. So I had a bunch, it wasn't even, I ain't gonna say a bunch. I had a couple of ladies that we just would hang out when they was bored, when I was bored. It was just a mutual thing. But I wasn't even seriously into them. They weren't really seriously into me. We just were single, right? And we were cool with being around each other. I had to let that stuff go when I committed to my relationship. Even in the dating phase, I'm cool. And a lot of times we don't be wanting to let go. We still be considering their feelings. Man, girl called me when I was with my lady and was like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, I'm with my lady. She's like, oh. I said, yeah, I expect you not to call my phone and stuff like that. She's like, okay, I can respect that. And it was just a mutual, respectful thing. And so sometimes we be trying to protect other people's feelings and heart, and then we messing up who we really care about. Yeah. And so I think that communication, bro, and being open, being transparent, and then it's a level of maturity, and so.
Yeah, and I think what you just said, that also needs to be conversations before you get married. Like, how do you deal with people from your past, ex-girlfriends, ex-friends that are girls, new friends that are girls, or new friends that are opposite sex?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Because some people, they think, I can have friends that are girls. I can have friends that are boys. I can have friends that are opposite sex. And for some people, that's not okay. And then you can say it's insecure. You can say whatever the case may be. But I think that conversation needs to be had before it's some static. When somebody
for sure
introduce another person into the relationship, nah.
For sure. And we need to cover this on a different episode. Let's cover that conversation on
That's why I said you going,
that'll be so good. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, man, the best of luck to that young man, and the best of luck to the young lady too.
Sure.
In that situation. Like you said, everything is postable. I don't think I would have wanted that posted either way. Don't post me getting embarrassed, but hey.
We're in 2023, bro. Everybody phone out expecting a yes. So it just happened to be a no, and that gotta get posted. Somebody gonna be. There's always an ignorant hater around, like, oh, she turned that down. Or there's always somebody that's going, girl, yeah, she said no to him. It's postable. Everything. When hey, ain't nothing not getting out nowadays, bro. Unless you straight
that's
under
true.
the radar, not on that stuff. It's just what it is. So
that's very.
But like
true.
you say, best of luck to both of them, man. It's good that she knows exactly what she want to need, and it's good that he see that it may not be her.
Yeah. So, fellas, is the relationship over after you propose and she says no? Is it salvageable? Tell us what you think.
Let us know. Always good talking, bro. Always good talking.
Most definitely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get comfortable in this format, bro.
Oh yeah,
something
for sure.
new.
Definitely something new. Like it's like having a conversation with nobody, but like but you have a conversation with somebody. It's weird.
Yeah.
We definitely gonna get comfortable. But yeah, man, it's been another episode of All Things Connected. We learning, we growing. We didn't want to ever be the podcast that came on and making people think we got it all figured out. Man, there's so much stuff we're learning about this YouTube platform. There's so much we're learning about audio, video, like all of these things we just working out. But at the end of the day, we just hope that y'all are gaining value and really enjoying our content. And so we thank y'all for being here, man. We getting a lot of people subscribing, D. We growing, bro. We growing, man.
And I think it's because of the value that we're trying to provide and that we hope to continue to provide, man.
Yeah.
And that's my thing, man. If you find the content valuable, share it. All right. Like you always say, what you say, eat the fish, spit out the bones.
Yeah.
You know. I think a lot of people can benefit, not from the entire episode, maybe from the entire episodes, but if it's just snippets, you know.
Yeah.
Share it, because a lot of us are going through the same stuff. Like, he ain't the first dude that been told no publicly.
Exactly.
And he ain't gonna be the last.
Exactly. But if you tell me no, you got to go. All right, love you, bro. Thank y'all again.
Love you too, bro.
All right, we out.
I'm just Daniel.
Tread the Great.